Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosie, and in today's video I thought I would show you some of the new things I have been purchasing because I have been spending a lot of money. I'm currently in my brother and sister-in-law's new house. They recently moved in, so you have to excuse if there's a bit of mess behind me. And some of the things I'm going to show you today I have talked about in other videos. So for example, I've done a new shoe unboxing and I've showed you my new shoes, but I thought I'd pop that in here as well. I've also done a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 unboxing and testing video that will also be live on my YouTube channel already. And then some of these things I don't think I've showed you yet, so there's going to be a bit of a mix, but let's jump in with just the first thing on my left, which is matcha. So this is the matcha that we like to get. We are going to Germany on Monday and we're going to be gone for about 3 months. This is the one that we buy on Amazon. It is 200 grams, I think. Yeah, 200 grams organic premium matcha tea. And we've had this one for a little while now. We keep buying the same packet. It is delicious, would highly recommend. I will leave it linked below. You can find it on Amazon, so it's really easy to get. The next thing is the Free Soul protein powder. Now, I talked about this in one of my vlogs recently. This is specifically formulated for women, and I don't know what that means in particular, but I quite like it. I have this every single morning and I think it's delicious. My sister-in-law and Jeremy thought it tasted quite sweet, which it definitely does taste sweet, but I don't mind that. I think it's really nice. So I would recommend this protein if you are interested in a new protein powder. Next up I have on my left is my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 case. So obviously I'm filming with the camera now, so I can't show you that. I've also got this case, which is sort of the carry case. And this is the bag that comes, you know, with the batteries and all that kind of thing. I will leave everything that I bought, including the little accessories, in the description box down below, because I got, for example, this thing, which just helps it stay steady on a table rather than using a tripod. I also got an extra battery, so I will leave all of that in the description box. But that is really exciting to be able to get the Osmo Pocket 3. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm still getting used to the settings and things, so hopefully this video works well. I'm currently on the active track, so it should follow me no matter where I move, which is so fancy. Anyway, next thing is these. These are the Milk Aid lactase enzyme tablets. These are delish and they are so good. Well, first of all, I didn't get them because they are delicious, but they help me to be able to digest dairy. About 2 years ago now, I found out that I couldn't digest dairy properly. So for about 9 months, I didn't eat any dairy. I then started going back to some dairy. As long as it's like highly processed, it's fine. And then more recently, I would say in the past year or so, I've started having lactose-free milk, lactose-free yogurt, things like that. And that has been absolutely fine. So I've been back on my hot chocolates and matchas and smoothies and things like that with milk, so long as it is lactose-free. And then I had a bit of a brainwave the other day and I thought, oh my God, what if there's something that could break down the lactose in food so I can have regular milk, regular cheese, regular ice creams and creams and things like that. And I found this. So this one is the raspberry flavour, this one is the vanilla flavour. They do taste quite strong, and if I have a couple bites of my meal and then I remember I've not taken this and I have to eat it mid-meal, not ideal. The vanilla one maybe doesn't smell as sweet. I don't think I've actually tasted this one yet. I've had the raspberry so far, but honestly it really helps. I've been able to have mac and cheese and creams and ice creams and things like that and not get a sore tummy. So that, if you are dairy free, if you're lactose free, let's say, that is a really good option. I don't think I'll consciously always now have milk and ice cream and things with lactose in there. I'd rather have the lactose free. But for example, if I'm somewhere and I want an ice cream and they don't have any vegan alternatives, I could have an ice cream and take some of those pills. So that has been great. Moving on this way, so 2 pairs of sandals. Like I said, I did a video talking about these. These are the Vivo Barefoot, I think they're called the Yin Sensus sandal, and then the Yin Sensus slide. And these I think are going to be great. I've not had a chance to wear them because I am in England at the moment and it has been warm, but not warm enough for sandals. But these I will leave linked below. I think they're going to be great for summer, and they just seem a lot comfier than the previous Vivo Barefoot sandals that I had picked up beforehand and I had to return them. So I think they are going to be great. If we stick with the fashion things, the next thing I picked up, so I've been wanting to get a skirt or some skirts for a while, but I hate that skirts these days are either really short and they barely cover your butt cheeks, even skirts, or they're like past the knee. I find it really hard to find a skirt that's a normal, what I would say like a normal regular length, like not past the knee, not knee length, but also not super tiny. Somewhere between my knee and my vagina is perfect, basically. And I found these. So these are some golf skirts by Willet. I found it on Amazon, and I've been looking at getting some other ones. I saw this one, I thought, oh my God, this looks ideal, because I think, in my opinion, it looks like a regular skirt. I don't think you would particularly know it's a sports skirt, but it is like a sporty, stretchy material. They also, let me see if I can show you, it's got shorts underneath, so that, can you see the shorts? Because I was thinking, when I'm in Europe, and if we're like getting on, you know, if you go like upstairs or up an escalator or anywhere where there's people that could potentially see your knickers and things, I'm not into that. I do want to be able to cover my bum and my vagina. So I thought these would be great. So this is the beige. It has pockets at the back, which I don't think I'll use. It's also got big pockets at the side, and then also some more like hidden pockets here, so you can hide like your key. And now they are golf skorts, so they're meant to do sports. So I think they'll actually be really great for when we're in hot countries like Thailand, where I am a hot, sweaty mess, and I always have just a river down my back. I think this material, because it's meant for sports and people sweating, it's kind of stretchy. I think it'll be really great. I will say they come up quite small. So I would say I'm usually a medium, maybe a large, maybe a small, depending on the sizing. I got a medium and a small, and the small is what fits me best. So that's a small. And then I also got it in dark green, which is a medium. So I'm sending this one back, and I've ordered a small, which hopefully will come in time before I leave on Monday. But this is the dark green. They also do dark grey and a blue shade, a black, a white, and maybe a light green as well. So you do have a couple of different options. I would say probably size down from your regular size or what you think you might be. Yeah, I'm excited to wear a skirt again, because like I said, I think a lot of skirts are either maxi or mid-axi, and they're quite big and bulky, or they are really, really short and show off everything, which I'm not about that either. So I think this is going to be a really, really good alternative, and I think I'm actually going to wear them all the time. And it's quite nice because sometimes I wear shorts, like biker shorts, and in certain places I would say people, mostly men, stare just straight at my vagina, because it is just like, vagina is on show wearing bike shorts. And the shorts that I do have that are cotton shorts, they often ride up in the middle, like between my legs, and I always have to pull them down. So I think these, where it's shorts but they're like biker shorts, they'll be tight but also got a skirt over the top so people can't just look at my vagina, it's going to be really great. I know I said vagina a lot of times then, I apologise. Okay, we're going to do two practical ones and then we'll move on to beauty. So I bought a water bottle in Thailand, but it has two lids, and we lost the middle section of the lid, which means basically I can't now use that water bottle. I've looked on Amazon and I've looked on this brand's website to see if I could just buy the lid itself again, and I can't. It's probably a blessing in disguise, because I didn't love that water bottle. First of all, I couldn't get my hand in there to actually clean it, and the lid, the way that it's just quite hard to clean. It was the, I'll leave pictures on screen. I can't think of the brand name. No, I can't think of the brand name, but I'll leave it on screen. But basically, it's almost like the first lid has space around the outside so you can just drink from it, and this top lid goes on top to tighten it and to screw it and keep it safe. But actually, if you don't, it's quite hard to clean that middle section, and if you don't clean it properly, mine was starting to smell a bit, and we don't always have a dishwasher, so it's hard to clean. And then, this might be TMI, but the other day I drank out of it, and I thought I could smell something a bit funky. I drank the whole drink anyway, and then I had diarrhea the whole day, and I think it's because probably there was some milk left over in the thing that I couldn't get to properly, and without a dishwasher it's really hard to clean those sorts of things. Anyway, long story short, I can't use that bottle anymore because I've lost the middle section, so I can't actually put the lid on. So I wanted to get a replacement. So initially I bought this one, which is a thermos, and I love the colour. It's this like gold shade. I need to stick this back on because I'm actually going to return it. And I thought this could be good because it's got a lid, so you can take that off. You can also unscrew that a little bit and then pour in there and have your drink of matcha or something at a cafe. But actually I'm going to have the same problem here where I can't get in there, like I can't get my hands in there. I think if I put a sponge in there I would lose it, and I just think without a dishwasher it's going to be difficult to clean. So I'm going to actually send that one back, and then what arrived today is my alternative. So this is actually a food jar by Stanley, and it's the to-go food jar, 18 ounces, which is about 530 ml. It's meant to keep hot drinks hot and cold drinks cold for 6 hours of each. And even though it's quite big, like it is quite chunky, it's roughly the same as this one. So this one's 570 ml, this one's 530 ml. It's just a different shape. But I think in terms of practicality, this is probably going to be so much better. So the lid is a screw-on lid. And then actually, before I get into this one, Thermos does also do a food jar, but it has a spoon in the lid. which I don't necessarily need. It also has this style like cup on top, which again, I probably don't necessarily need. The other thing was that I didn't think the opening was going to be wide enough to actually get inside and clean it. Whereas this one, I've tried it, I can actually put my whole hand in there. So I can actually scrub this clean, because that's what I didn't like about my other water bottle, was that if I have a smoothie and I leave it there for the day and forget about it, I can't guarantee I'm going to get every single germ out of there without a dishwasher. Or if I have a matcha and I'm drinking from it and I can't get into all the nooks and crannies and all the crevices, there might be milk sat on there for a little while getting old and crusty and horrible and then giving me a sore tummy. So with this one, I can actually get my hand in there and clean it properly and really, yeah, just get in there. And the lid also doesn't have anything that could, oh, maybe it does. Maybe it's got this little like pressure hole here in here. So maybe that potentially could get dirty, but I just poured in some boiling water to test it. I left it for 2 hours and I opened it up again and it was still boiling. But even when I had the lid on, I was like shaking it about and things, and it stayed completely secure. So I think this is going to be great. It is quite big, but then in terms of like when you are drinking from it, it's just like a large cup. Like it is big, yeah, it's meant for soups and food, but I think, anyway, that's my new water bottle and I think I'm going to be using it a lot. So you might see that a lot on the vlogs and on Instagram and whatever else. Okay, now if we get into beauty, I got some GHD unplugged hair straighteners for my birthday off my parents. They were £200 on Amazon from £300. It was during the spring sale thing that they had. These are incredible because I've not been able to straighten my hair when traveling for, well, ever. Because I've bought straighteners before, but because when you plug into different voltages in different countries and things like that, they don't always work and sometimes they've blown the fuse. Whereas this one charges by USB-C in the bottom here, and it's really tiny and really practical and they work really, really well. They last about 20 minutes, I think it's meant to be, on a full charge, but I get down to about 2 bars out of 4 and I've done my whole hair, so they're really great. I've also curled my hair with them. I looked a little bit crazy, but it worked. And they also come with a carry case, so I can put that in there and keep them safe and locked away. And I think that's also a heat resistant bag, so that if they happen to turn on, it's not going to cause a fire or anything. So I think that is brilliant. Again, going to leave them linked for you. And then we've got some beauty products. So this cream I've seen on all over online. It's the Weleda Skin Food, and this is incredible. It's so thick and gorgeous on the skin. We used it a lot in Thailand when Jeremy especially, both of us got sunburnt, but Jeremy especially got burnt to a crisp, and I just slathered him in this, and within a couple of days he was fine again. It is a very thick cream, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. My skin just soaks it up and it almost goes into like an oily texture as you're putting it on. But you can use it everywhere, like feet and elbows and body and face and everything. I primarily use it as my face cream at night time before I go to bed. But because it is very thick, like I said, I bought this one, which is the same thing, but it's the light version. So I think it's just less thick and just less thick basically. It's like a light version of the cream. Oh, that is gorgeous. Yeah, that blends straight in. You can't even see it anymore. Okay, that's going to be great because this one is really thick. This one is probably going to be a really good alternative. So I picked up the Weleda Skin Food Light, but I do recommend the regular one as well. Again, I will leave that linked. I also picked up this, which is the Revlon Unique One All-in-One Hair Treatment. So it's got 10 benefits and it just comes in a bottle like this. So it repairs dry and damaged hair, strengthens and reduces breakage, conditions and detangles, controls frizz, instantly moisturizes, heat protection, boosts shine and protects colour, softness and manageability, helps to prevent split ends, and it refreshes your hairstyle. That is a lot, but I thought because I'm going to be straightening my hair more often and probably using heat more often, I could do with some sort of heat protectant spray, especially because I've taken a couple of years to grow my hair nice and long. I don't want to just suddenly damage it and then end up with loads of split ends and damage and, you know, having to cut my hair short again after growing it for a couple of years. So I thought this could be a good one because it's got 10 benefits in one. So again, I will leave that linked. This is a bit of a funny one. So I got 2 pill boxes and the other one is in my bag at the moment, so I'm not going to go and get it. But it was 2 for about £4, and I think these are made from sugarcane or something, so it's not plastic and it's not metal, but I think it's sugarcane. And it's got 3 little compartments, which is great because I have one for my lactose pills. I have one compartment for headaches, but not for headaches, sorry, for painkillers because I always get headaches and migraines. And then the other one I put in there, that pill when you get a sore tummy, I think it's Rennie's. when you get heartburn. I put that in the last one, but I don't often take a Rennie's, so that might move into something else, maybe my ADHD medication or something. But I think having just 3 little pill things like this and having it small and compact where you can just put that in your handbag, no one particularly knows what it is, you can't see what's inside either. But just to be able to take pills with me without taking a whole box like this, I can take this and have painkillers, these, and then a 3rd option. So I'll leave that linked as well. And then the last 2 things, I think I'm looking around the table. The last 2 things, yeah, are these 2. So I got these actually from TK Maxx. I went with my sister-in-law the other day and I got a vitamin C Bright Intensive Serum. It's 50ml. I think it was about £5 from about 10 or £6 from 12, something like that. It was half price. And it's quite a thick gel-like texture, but I quite like it. I don't know, I haven't really noticed any differences so far because I've also not been super on it with my skincare recently, but I quite like that one and it doesn't have a really strong smell. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is this, which is niacinamide and chianomeles sinensis. Oh my god, I don't know what that means. I got it for the niacinamide, which is 2% niacinamide, and then the rest is basically fruit extract. And it's meant to help with brightening and keeping the skin moist and glowing. Again, I got this from TK Maxx and I think it was half price again. It was, again, about £6 from £12, something like that. If I can find it anywhere, I will leave it linked. It does have quite a strong smell. I noticed the first couple of days when I would put on whatever treatment I had on first, and then I would put on that to lock in moisture. If I was rubbing my face, it all like pilled and it all sort of came off. Whereas if I sort of dab it on my skin, it actually just soaks in the moisture. And I'm starting to sort of figure out how to work it, and I think this is a really nice product as well. So that is all of the newness in my life in the past month or so. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will leave everything linked down below. As you can see, I'm like scanning just to make sure I've got everything included, but I think so. If there's anything else, you'll see it in my vlogs anyway when I use them. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and happy shopping. I'll leave all of it linked, like I said, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.